What's up, Team Dink? I just got to a local park here and there are people everywhere. But that being said, I know there's a lot of fish in here and I'm hoping that we can bust on a few. Looking for some bass. I might even target some bluegill as well. I've got an ultralight and a conventional bass rod. So enough yipping and yapping. Let's start casting, blasting. Let's go. Okay, there's way more slop in this lake than I remember. I think it's just freshly come up. So this is news to me. I wish I would have brought a frog. That said, I'm gonna start with this little finesse worm here. It's just rigged weightless. It's like a floating worm by Z-Man. This time of year in the post spawn, a lot of times when they're fry guarding and whatnot, a lot of times you can get them to come up and eat stuff like this, and what's nice is it's so bright so I can see it and I can watch the bites. Super fun way to fish. Seeing some gills right here. Maybe I should just get some juju going by catching a gill or two. My main objective is bass. There we go. But I don't mind some gills, you guys know that. Just got to get on the board. And you know what? That's actually a green sunfish bluegill hybrid, I believe. Or might, yeah. Interesting. See how big of a mouth it's got? Yeah. See the fins? Definitely a green sunfish bluegill hybrid. Love these fish. Oddly enough, I still have yet to see any bass besides one. Oh, I speak of the devil. There goes one right there. I was gonna say I have yet to see any bass that are any larger than about 5 inches. Just now, I saw one rocket launch through all the weeds. He might have been chasing a gill, for all I know. Also, probably can't see it, but there's a beach over there, and there's about 1 billion people on it. I guess they're not worried about the whole pandemic thing anymore. A lot of times this time of year, you'll find these bluegill up shallow on beds and stuff, and then there's a grass line like this, and the bass will be right on that grass line. I'm super surprised we haven't found one yet. I might have to switch it up to a Senko. I'm pretty sure that's a higher percentage bait than this thing. I love these floating worms, I really do. It's just not the play today. I'm gonna put on a Senko. That's always gonna work. Little watermelon red Senko, Texas rig weedless. Seeing a bunch of spawning bluegill. This could be a fun change of events. There we go, okay. Okay, let's turn this day around. I'm okay with targeting bluegill. These ones are all on beds. There's like 1,000 in one little area. Key is to try to locate those bigger fish and then put it next to them. The sad thing is the small fish will go crazy for it. There we go. There's just so many fish this size in there, and obviously they can be challenging when they're just kind of nipping at the tail. They can kind of be a pain in the butt. That being said, I know there's some bigger ones in the mix as well, so I just got to keep weeding through some of these smaller fish. Thing is, those smaller fish a lot of times will just get to it first. There's a little bit better one. Look at the colors on this guy. During the spawn, these fish can get so dang pretty. Nice colors. Well, we're working our juju up a little bit. My thoughts are, where all these bluegill beds are, there's got to be bass close. A lot of times these bluegill just try to remove it from their bed. Almost had him. He just had the tail. It's very similar to the same thing you do when you're bass fishing on beds. The bass aren't necessarily interested in eating it. They're just interested in either killing it or taking it off their bed. And that's kind of the same way these bluegill act. I've had a fish probably nip at the tail every single cast. It's unbelievable. These bluegill are grabbing the tail and pulling it off their bed and then dropping it. They're a lot smarter than people give them credit for, that's for sure. This is a male. Look at this beautiful bluegill. Gorgeous. All right, I could screw with these fish all day and probably catch about 100 of them. All I do is get distracted by these dang things. I literally cast my Senko out there and the bluegill are attacking my Senko. I cannot find the bass. I don't know why I got distracted by these fish again, but I did. Got him. Just another about the same size. This is unbelievable. I'm telling you, if you wanted to catch 10,000 of these things, it's possible. There's just so many like this. They chase my worms too, like when I'm bass fishing. Another one. Unbelievable. Slightly better. Look how he ate that. Dang. Gotcha. All right. Man, look at that. Nice dark green with some blue in there, orange. Man, I tell you what, that's what a green pumpkin with a little copper in there mimics that really good. Drives bass nuts. Like an isolated weed clump right there. There's got to be a bass sitting on that. Another one. Yeah, I'm sorry. Every time I start going for bass, I get distracted because the bass, I've seen a few bass and they just cruise through. They have no interest in my Senko. I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea, but what I do know is that bluegill are eating, so I should just keep fishing them. Another one. See, what am I doing? Why even get distracted by bass? These are plenty of fun. I will take this. They're defending their beds like crazy, and I might as well just hone in on them. When in doubt, bluegill it out. All right, another one. Man, this one's fighting pretty hard for his size. Not very big. Oh my gosh, look at those colors. Look at those nice colors. In the water, they just light up with that sunlight. Honestly, out of water, he doesn't look all that pretty, but in the water with that sun on him, it's just like shiny, it's beautiful.
Okay, here's the deal. I thought I was gonna come out here, maybe catch a few bluegill, but mostly I was gonna target bass. Well, the bass are being really annoying, so what I'd rather do is just catch a pile of bluegill on beds, so that's what we're gonna do.
See this rod and reel right here? No thanks. We're going ultralight. Ultralight or bust. I've seen several bass cruise through and I know they're catchable, but honestly, they don't seem to be that interested in the weightless worm. So what I'd rather do is just catch these bluegill, because bluegill on beds can be super fun. It's like totally sight fishing, and they are just a riot. They protect their beds like more than bass do. Like they will just eat it on the first cast. Look at that. Look at that. Chomped it. And I tell you what, oh wow, that's a nice bass. Let's put this right in front of his nose. Come on, that'd be hilarious if I got a bass on the ultralight. There's bass. As soon as I stop fishing for bass and start fishing for bluegill, what do? I catch a largemouth. Not a very big one, but I'll tell you what, I will take it. That's hilarious. I guess what I needed to do was just put down my bass rod, because clearly that's not working for me. I am meant to fish with an ultralight. I needed to be an ultralight exclusive angler, because quite honestly, that's all I can catch fish on these days anyways. I missed one, and as soon as I did, this one ate it. It's funny, so when bluegill spawn, you'll just see hundreds of them, and I mean hundreds of them in one little area. And you'll see all these little beds about that big, and the bluegill will just be everywhere. A lot of the bigger bluegill will usually be towards the center. That being said, in this lake, it seems like there's just 3 to 5 inch bluegill everywhere. I'm not seeing any like big alpha males. You never know, maybe I'll just stumble on one of these times. There's one right in front of me. Will he eat it? Yes, he will. This one's actually a pumpkin seed. Interesting. Well, he was spawning literally right in front of me. It'd be nice to find like just a big old alpha male bluegill. That one's, that's another of the same size. He's fighting really hard though. I love when they turn their side and just go crazy. He's got some thickness to him. Kind of a girthy fella. Gorgeous, gorgeous fish. I tell you what, this time of year, they get on those spawning colors and they're just gorgeous fish. I need a fresh plastic. This thing's gotten torn up by these bluegill. Ethan's random bag of plastics here. Let's try a black one this time. Got him. Sight fished a bass. Oh, what? He swiped at it and then he missed it and I got him in the tail. I feel bad for this. I feel bad for this. Not what I intended to do. He went to eat it and he missed and I just hooked him right in the tail. I am sorry, mister. We're gonna get you off. Just chill, buddy. Just chill. Well, caught another bass. Got him. I don't even know how many fish I've caught at this point. There's too many to count. Let's keep moving, see if we can't find some more. Seems like I've really caught a lot of these fish, and so they're kind of starting to slow down a little bit. And I had to walk a whopping like 30 feet, and now I found like 1,000 more. Got him. Looky there. Man, they've got those dark colors right now. Gorgeous. Chomped it. This one actually really got it good. Right down the gullet. All right. This one, missed him. He just pulled the tail, removed it from his bed, and it all happened within like a split second. That one just chomped it. Whoa, look at the orange on this guy. The variety of color is just outstanding. He chomped it. I love it. Look at that. That's just like a perfect bluegill right there. If she was 10 inches, that'd be better, but at the same time, you gotta just admire the beauty. It's not always about the size of the fish. We should know that by now. The speed at which a bluegill can open and close its mouth is crazy. I can make them bite like 300 times on each cast, but I cannot catch every fish that bites, that's for sure. Another one, another one, another one, another one. Just crushing. I don't think there's a big bluegill in this lake though. I swear. I've been looking. I've seen a few that like look big, and then as soon as I catch them, I'm like, never mind.
Quick update for you. I tell you what, it's times like this that really open your eyes to how many fish live in a body of water. The amount of bluegill is just insane. Like there's millions, or it feels like there's millions in here. It's unbelievable. I see them everywhere. I just did some B-roll and kind of showed you what I'm seeing. I'm not sure how that footage will turn out, but ultimately what I'm trying to prove is that like I'll walk down the bank and there's just bluegill everywhere at all times. It's crazy. I mean, I feel like we can learn something from that.
Man, I wanted to catch that bass that was swimming over there. These bluegill eat it so dang fast. Anytime I see a bass, I feel like these bass are actually like honing in on the bluegill. And so if I was to throw like a little bluegill swim bait or something, I'd probably catch them. But honestly, they've got about 1 million fish to choose from. So the bass, they've got meals for days. Oh, he's got me in grass. I think this might be the biggest one I've caught today. I mean, that's not really saying a whole lot. Not a very big fish. Look at him though. Healthy, just a lot of fish. I mean, if there's one thing you can take from today's video, it's that this lake has the most insane population of bluegill I've ever seen. Another one. Man, that one just clobbered it. Hopefully you're learning a few things about bed fishing for bluegill. God, looky there, man. It's got this cool stripes on him. Really cool. They're all just pretty unique as far as their colors go. There's no two bluegill the same. And it's crazy to think that because it's like, there's 1 billion bluegill in here. Just another one. Caught males, females, I'm catching them all, man. Catching them all. That one was awesome. That was awesome.
I know what a lot of you are thinking. You're like, Ethan, this can't even be fun. You're just catching endless small fish. But I tell you what, it's not always about just like having the most fun catching giant fish. It's also about learning about a body of water. And honestly, it's really relaxing sometimes to just not think and to just flip into a bunch of bluegill and watch them eat it. There's something about bluegill that I think every angler can love. It's like, generally speaking, they're like the first fish any of us have ever caught. And then on top of that, they're just feisty, they're beautiful, and there's just, I don't know, there's something about them. I'm gonna catch a few more, but I gotta go home. I'm gonna clean up, and then I'm actually gonna grill out, have some burgers, man. Who doesn't love a good burger, you know? It's a beautiful day. I gotta eat a burger.
When it comes to choosing baits for bluegill fishing on beds, I use the exact same principles I would for bass. Use something that I can see, so that's why the chartreuse head for me was obviously clutch. And then I used the black plastic for a little while there, but the white one is just so much easier to see, so I've been using that. Ultimately, you just want something small and something that's gonna sit on their bed well, and for me, you know, obviously a mule jig works. You can use like a micro drop shot. The one thing that I don't like about a micro drop shot is that a lot of times the tag end gets really tangled when you're using this light line, so I don't mess with it a whole lot. But realistically, you can just bobber fish for them with like a worm as well. I gotta catch 3 more gills before I go home and make my cheeseburgers. Come on. There we go. 1. Gotta get 2 more. Come on. There we go. Got that guy. Man, fighting so hard for his size. That is what is so fun about bluegill. You get him on ultralight stuff. For this little fish, he fought so hard. He's so small. Got him. Okay, that'll do it, folks. We caught ourselves a mess of these little guys. This lake probably needs some of these fish taken out, but you know, it is what it is. Some lakes get overpopulated with gills. That's just the way it goes. I think every fisherman needs a day like this every now and again.
You know what, Team Dink? Today was a day of dinks, and I'm totally fine with that. I came out here thinking I was gonna catch some bass, maybe a few bluegill. Well, I ended up catching only bluegill, and I tell you what, I had a blast with it, so I'm not gonna complain at all. I would highly encourage all fishermen from time to time to just target bluegill. It's super fun. They're such a neat part of the ecosystem, and I feel like it brings back a nostalgia from when we were kids. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, definitely bluegill was one of the main species that I would fish for. Bass, obviously, have always been a huge part of my life as an angler, but there's just something about bluegill that I think we all can come to love and respect, especially with light gear. With that being said, I'm going home. See ya.